All right, so the board today. The board today is from Zepsody. This is also like one of our sponsors of the stream, but they do not pay me for the stream. This is just gonna be a look at their board. So take that for what it's worth. I'm giving you this as a disclaimer. These are the Wisteria switches. These have always been like insane value. Simply because I think they're what, 60 cents a switch? Let me double check. And they're hand lubed. Yeah, 60 cents a switch. And they're hand lubed with 3204. So they're pretty good. Then we have some Heine PCBs. So always nice to see some fun Heine PCBs here. All right, let's take a look at the board. Just so you guys are aware, Zepsody told me about this a little while ago. And this board here has been not delayed or anything. He's just been working on it for a little while. And it finally is ready to go soon. I think the details on the IC is January. So pretty soon. It's priced pretty fairly at $295 for what it is too. I have been looking forward to this for quite some time. Look at that. Look how interesting that bottom is. Isn't that nice? Everything about this is really pretty. The side profile, it kind of even gives me like a little bit of like a Key Cult vibe on the side profile a little bit just because of the, actually maybe not really. It's just really pretty. Like they did a really good job with the overall design of this board. It looks great. Ano looks pretty good too. I do see a little bit of tooling, which is not a big deal. Underneath right there, like that right over there, but that's not really a huge deal. Adhesive pads L. Yeah, so a little bit about this. Adhesive pads are still a pretty predominant thing in the hobby. And what I mean by adhesive pads is the feet over here. I like seeing more companies incorporate things like push-in feet, just because, here, I'll give you an example, a really good example. As you can see, my adhesive feet on my Salvation are starting to slip off a little bit. And this is sometimes the problem with adhesives, right? So that's why I think press-in feet are always a nice addition to things, but the majority of adhesive stuff, like that's the extreme case, the majority of adhesive stuff isn't that bad, but it is nice to still see when boards do adhesive, or non-adhesive rather. But yeah, pretty nice, I have to admit. Really like this butt. I think that even the Vantage logo, it's not overdone. So recessed USB-C cable, which is good, pretty standard these days. What was the front height on this? 18 mil, very nice front height. 18 mil is the sweet spot for me. As I usually tell you guys, up to 20 mil is usually where I'm just kind of like whatever, but like 20 mil and below I'm good, but 18 mil is definitely a sweet spot. 7.5 degree angle for typing, which is great too. So pretty nice. I like the low front height. Front height's very important for me. It is black, but it almost feels like it's like a tinge of gray, sorta. I don't know how to describe this, but it is technically, I think this is technically classified as black, yeah. Very nice though. I'm so pumped to put this together. Alrighty, let's see what else was in here. All right, we got some gaskets. There's different durometers in here. We have a daughter board. I think this is a proprietary, actually, is it? No, it might be a standard one. I have to double check. It might be the one that goes to the Heine PCBs. We have some foam, which honestly is gonna stay in the box. More foam, honestly gonna stay in the box. Oh, by the way, guys, I have nothing against foam. Foam is something that I try to not build with immediately because I like to see if the board sounds good without it. I have a few boards that I've stuffed with foam and I'm like, yo, this is sick. But usually I like to test it without it first. My method is foam should be a modifier and not have the reliance put onto it. It should indeed be a modifier though. Ooh. I think I use half plate today, right? There's aluminum and I guess this is palm, I think. Ooh, that is a nice PCB color. Okay. One thing that I feel like still isn't mainstream enough is just using polyfill. But polyfill is great because it can still make the board sound full without taking away some of the metallic-y noise that you would get inside of your keyboard, you know? We're just soldering in 4 corners, guys. Let's put in our other switches. I need to get a plate fork. Dude, they're so handy. By far, one of the best things you can pick up for yourself if you're building numerous keyboards, I'd say. Very, very handy to have. All right. Remember to not flip this, Alex. So what I'm doing here is I'm going over each individual leg. So I did one single leg on each switch. I'm using my thumb to support the particular switch. And then I'm just making sure it's all been pushed in correctly. By leaving it at a bit of pressure, let it cool for you can let it cool for literally a second. But I just want to make sure when we do a plateless build, it all gets done, or a half plate in this case, evenly. Looks like I did a pretty good job on most of this, but some of them, yeah, some of them I can feel like are shifting a little bit as I do this, which is good. It means they're getting pushed down to being flush. I think we're good. I like the look of the forged carbon plate. That's pretty nice, man. Let's open up this case. I love the back of this thing, man. It's like subtle enough to where it almost looks flat. Definitely has that bit of a divot in it. That is nice. I really like this board, man. This turned out great, Zepsody. It looks really good. I don't see, like I said, other than the small little tooling path on the inside, which is where the what's it called, daughter board would go. I don't think there's anything like glaringly bad or obvious. This board is going to be selling for $295. I'm hoping it doesn't change. I'm really hoping that Zepsody can keep it at that price. All right, here's the internals, guys. If you guys want to take another look at the internals here. So you get the weight, 3 screws. I don't like the fact that this is Phillips, but I'm willing to let that go because it's the weight. I hope that ends up changing to hex. I don't see this as a big deal to change the hex though, Zepsody. I'm not really big on, it won't be for final. Perfect, bro. I love that. Love, love, love that. Ooh. I've never seen an all-white JST cable. That is interesting. Very interesting. And it does kind of look, I think this is this proprietary? I don't love the fact that it's proprietary. Like, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but alrighty. Ooh, these go on so nicely. This is so satisfying to put these things on. So they just sit on the leaf spring like so. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna put these two on. You know what? I'll put them on for now, and if I feel like they need to be taken off, the nice thing about these is you can take them off. But I am usually one to skip on putting gaskets underneath the spacebar. Put the 50s. You know what? I might try that. Let me put the light ones on there. Good call. We'll do that. We shall do that because that would be kind of fun to try out. The few things that I've already noticed, Zepsody is like, oh yeah, we fixed those. So I am very happy with that. All right, so let's screw this all in together. But we can do a lot with this PCB. There is a lot of options with this Heine PCB, as you guys can see. There is tons of options. Let's put our feetsies on. Zep, I'm gonna be honest, I don't love these clear feet. I think I would prefer them just to be black. The adhesive, as you can see, like part of it where it's adhered better, feet have been changed. Was that on the list too? Am I just like fumbling so hard not reading Zepsody's list? Oh, he didn't do that. Perfect. Okay, it's on the IC. No. I fumbled again. Everything I say he's already thought of. I don't even know what I'm doing here. I'm just gonna continue building the board and not say a word. Zep's already thought of everything. He's like, guys, we've already thought it all through. We don't need Alex for this. We just need him to build things and just be happy. God, I love this bottom, man. This is so pretty. I appreciate all these different gasket options. I like that too. That's fun. Fun to experiment with. Super pretty. It's like, yeah, it's like an envelope kinda. Everything's great, like the way the light hits this, it feels very premium too. Sometimes you get like aluminum boards where they kind of just feel cheapy. This feels great. The edges, they're all nicely like rounded off too, so everything just feels like very premium about this. You can tell by the way the light hits it too. It looks beautiful. God, I love the sound of cherry stabs. Absolutely adore cherry stabilizers. Ooh. All right, so this is the board here. Really nice back piece on this. Again, I really like the overall design of this. I really like. I do want to, once we do this test, I'm probably going to open this up again because I would like to try the other gaskets in this as well. And then I'm going to see about maybe gasket placements and stuff like that. All the things I pointed out on the stream, Zepsody already like immediately said all those things are already worked on and being fixed. Like actually, this is one thing I didn't mention, the cutout for the feet, the bump-ons, they're a little smaller, but he mentioned that he's gonna fix that. It's not gonna be clear anymore. They're gonna be black and white. And then everything else I've mentioned, he's already fixing. So let's see what this sounds like. We're using wisteria switches. They've been lubed with 3204. We're using a half plate, which is the carbon fiber one. Ooh. There's no foam or anything in this board too. Okay, I really like this space bar. This is a nice contrast of the alphas. I don't even need to change. I thought maybe I'm not gonna like these gasket hardness because I've never really used something like an 80 durometer. This is nice. God, dude, that spacebar is hot. Enter has a little bit of hollowness to it. But you know what? Well, not even hollowness, rather. It has like a metallic-y ping. But I don't mind that at all. Bit of character there. That spacebar is sick. Even with the 80 durometer, this still doesn't feel like super, super tough to type on. Although I think maybe some people might prefer like in between. That's pretty nice. Ooh, this does look really good with this keycap set. This is the hardest durometer gasket, and I would say that it's not like super duper Envoy or, you know what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of like an O-ring build, sort of. That's what it kind of feels like, sort of. Like it has a little bit of movement. Yeah, this kind of, yeah, exactly. This keyboard kind of sells itself. I don't think I need to say anything else about this. Everything we brought up during the stream, all my concerns, Zepsody already told us these are stuff that we're not gonna have to worry about, which is fantastic. The overall design is great. I like the thin bezels on the side. I like the forehead and, I mean, this just kind of hits everything for me. This is just a good board. Yeah, $295 is not bad for this. I'm really hoping that Zepsody can keep the $295 price point. Price is basically locked in. Okay, perfect. That's awesome, bro. $295 for this, I'm here for it. Really nice though, man. I really like the board. I think you did a fantastic job on this, dude. I don't think there's a single piece of this that I can really say stands out as something that's an objective flaw here. Really nice, at a really good price point too, I feel. I guess I didn't ask you this either. Is this gonna be a limited group buy? 250 total? That makes sense. That's a pretty good MOQ, I think. I think this is still slated for sometime in January. I don't think Zepsody has a firm date on this yet. But yeah, that's pretty much the stream, guys. That's pretty much it tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Really appreciate you guys as normal, as always. Goodbye.